Prince adjusted his Lakers cap lower over his eyes and glanced at Michael Jackson, who was similarly disguised in a Dodgers hat and oversized sunglasses. It was just past midnight on August 14, 1988, and the two biggest rivals in music were doing something almost nobody would believe: hanging out together on the Santa Monica Pier. They'd been in a studio session earlier working on a secret collaboration, and Prince had suggested they get out, be anonymous for a few hours. As they walked past arcade games and closed carnival rides, a sound stopped them both. Someone was playing Purple Rain on a keyboard. But not just Purple Rain. They were mixing it with Man in the Mirror, blending both songs into something entirely new. Prince and Michael looked at each other with the same thought: we have to see this. What they discovered in the next 2 hours would become the most legendary bootleg footage in music history. Jordan Matthews was 17 years old and had been living on the streets of Los Angeles for 8 months. His mother had died from cancer when he was 15. His father, unable to cope, had descended into alcoholism and abandoned Jordan. The kid carried only 3 things: a backpack with clothes, his mother's photograph, and a beat-up Casio keyboard that had been her final gift. Jordan wasn't busking for fun. He was busking to survive. Every night on Santa Monica Pier, if he could make $40 or $50, he could eat for a few days. But Jordan wasn't just playing for money. He was playing because music was the only language he had left to talk to his mother. Every note was a conversation with someone he'd never see again. Tonight, Jordan was trying something experimental. His mother had loved both Prince and Michael Jackson equally. When she was dying, she'd made Jordan promise to keep making music. So Jordan had been teaching himself to blend their songs, creating mashups that honored both artists his mother had adored. Prince and Michael stood about 15 feet back, hidden in shadows. They watched this skinny kid in worn-out clothes pouring his soul into their songs. Jordan's keyboard was missing several keys. His technique was self-taught and imperfect. His voice cracked on high notes. But there was something undeniable in his performance. Raw emotion that transcended technical perfection. "That kid is good," Michael whispered to Prince. "Like, really good." Prince nodded slowly. He understands the emotional core of both songs. He's not just playing notes, he's telling a story. They watched as Jordan transitioned seamlessly from Purple Rain's yearning chorus into Man in the Mirror's call for personal change. "You thinking what I'm thinking?" Prince asked Michael. Michael grinned. "That we should mess with this kid's head?" "Absolutely." They waited until Jordan finished the mashup, then walked up to his keyboard setup. Jordan was counting his earnings, about $32, when he noticed 2 guys in baseball caps and sunglasses standing in front of him. "That was interesting," Prince said, his distinctive voice slightly disguised. "Mixing Purple Rain with Man in the Mirror. That's ambitious." Jordan looked up and smiled politely. "Thanks, man. Any requests?" Michael couldn't help but laugh. "Yeah, play that mashup again, but this time, let us help." Jordan's brain was processing something but refusing to believe it. The voice, the mannerisms. His hands started shaking. "Wait. No, you're not. You can't be." Prince removed his sunglasses. Surprise! Michael did the same. Jordan's keyboard slipped from his lap and clattered on the wooden pier. "Oh my God! This isn't happening." "I'm hallucinating," Jordan stammered. Michael picked up Jordan's keyboard and checked it for damage. "You're not losing your mind. We're real. And we want to play your mashup with you. But you gotta breathe first, kid." Jordan tried to breathe but couldn't. Prince put a hand on the kid's shoulder. "What's your name?" "Jordan." "Jordan Matthews." Prince smiled. "Okay, Jordan Matthews. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to sit back down. You're going to play that mashup again. And Michael and I are going to sing it with you. Right here, right now. You cool with that?" Jordan managed to nod. Prince and Michael positioned themselves on either side of Jordan's keyboard setup. Michael tested the acoustics. Prince stretched his fingers. And Jordan, still shaking, placed his hands back on the keys. "You start it," Prince said, "just like you were doing it. We'll follow your lead." Jordan began playing. His hands were trembling so badly he hit 2 wrong notes, but he kept going. Then Prince's voice joined in, that signature aching tone. Jordan almost stopped from shock, but Michael caught his eye and nodded. "Keep going. You're doing great." When the song reached the first chorus, Michael's voice blended with Prince's, creating a harmony Jordan had only dreamed of hearing. People on the pier started to notice. At first, just a few curious onlookers. Then someone recognized the voices. Then someone else recognized the profiles despite disguises. Within 5 minutes, about 50 people had gathered. Within 10 minutes, over 100. And critically, someone had pulled out a camcorder and started recording. Jordan transitioned into Man in the Mirror, and Prince stepped back to let Michael take the lead. Michael sang his own song with fresh emotion and spontaneous runs. Prince watched Michael with genuine admiration, then jumped in with backing vocals that elevated the entire performance. They weren't competing, they were collaborating. Then something magical happened. Prince asked Jordan, "You know how to improvise?" Jordan nodded nervously. "Good, because we're about to go off script. Follow us." Prince started playing a funk groove that was neither song. Michael immediately caught the rhythm and started beatboxing. Jordan, terrified but exhilarated, began improvising keyboard lines. What followed was 10 minutes of pure musical telepathy. 3 musicians who'd never played together creating something unrehearsed and unrepeatable. Prince would play a riff, Jordan would answer it. Michael would sing a phrase, Prince would harmonize. The crowd was mesmerized. This wasn't a performance. This was a conversation. When they finally brought it back to close out, the 100+ people watching erupted in applause. Jordan sat at his keyboard crying, overwhelmed. Michael put a hand on his shoulder. "You got skills, kid. Real skills." But Prince had noticed something. While Jordan had been playing, Prince had seen his eyes drift to a photograph taped to his keyboard. Prince picked up the photo. "Your mom?" Jordan nodded, unable to speak. Prince studied the picture. "She looks like she was beautiful. When did you lose her?" 2 years ago. "Cancer." Prince handed the photo back carefully. "This performance was for her, wasn't it?" Jordan broke down completely. "Everything I play is for her. She loved your music. Both of you. When she was dying, she made me promise to keep playing. But I'm homeless and broke, and I don't know if I can keep that promise." Prince and Michael exchanged a look. Both of them knew what it was like to perform for someone who wasn't there anymore. Michael spoke first. "What if you didn't have to be homeless anymore? What if you had a place to stay, instruments to practice on, and people who could help you develop your talent?" Jordan stared at him. "I don't understand." Prince clarified. "Michael and I both have studios. We both work with young artists. And we both just heard something in your playing that's worth nurturing. So here's the offer. You come work with us. We'll give you a place to stay, access to equipment, and we'll teach you everything we know." Jordan couldn't process what he was hearing. "Why would you do this? You don't know me. I'm nobody." Prince's response was simple but profound. "You're not nobody. You're a musician. That makes you family." Prince and Michael pulled out their wallets and emptied them into Jordan's keyboard case. Between them, about $800. "That's for tonight," Michael said. "Tomorrow, you meet us at this address." Prince wrote down the Paisley Park phone number. "Call this number at noon. We'll arrange everything." The crowd, now aware this wasn't just street performance but something life-changing, started contributing too. Within 10 minutes, Jordan had over $2,000 in his case. But more valuable was the paper with Prince's phone number and the realization that his life had just completely changed. As Prince and Michael prepared to leave, Jordan called out, "Wait, why are you really doing this?" Michael turned back. "Because somebody did it for us once. When we were young and people didn't believe in us, somebody took a chance. Now we're paying it forward," Prince added, "and because your mom was right. You should never stop making music." They disappeared into the crowd. But the camcorder footage remained. Grainy, amateur quality, but capturing every second of Prince and Michael Jackson performing with a homeless street kid on Santa Monica Pier. That footage would be passed around on bootleg VHS tapes for years, then uploaded to early internet, then eventually YouTube, where it's been viewed over 50 million times. Jordan Matthews did call the number. He spent 3 months at Paisley Park working with Prince, learning production and composition. Then, 3 months at Michael's Neverland Ranch, studying vocal technique and performance. Both legends kept their word. Jordan never became a household name like Prince or Michael, but he became a successful session musician, producer, and songwriter. He worked on albums for major artists throughout the 90s and 2000s. He won 2 Grammy Awards for production, and most importantly, he kept his promise to his mother. He never stopped making music. When Michael Jackson died in 2009, Jordan was devastated. He stood outside the hospital where Michael had been pronounced dead, playing Man in the Mirror on a keyboard, crying openly. When Prince died in 2016, Jordan did the same at Paisley Park, playing Purple Rain for hours while thousands of mourners joined him. He'd lost mentors. He'd lost the 2 people who'd saved his life. The camcorder footage from Santa Monica Pier has become one of the most treasured pieces of bootleg material in music history. Not because it shows Prince and Michael at their technical best, but because it captures something more valuable. 2 legends who could have walked past a struggling kid, who could have stayed rivals, instead choosing to stop and create magic with someone nobody else saw. Jordan Matthews is 53 years old now. He runs a nonprofit called the Pier Foundation that provides musical instruments and lessons to homeless youth. Every August 14th, the anniversary of that night, he returns to Santa Monica Pier and plays the mashup for free. The event has become annual, drawing thousands of people who want to honor the memory of both legends. This story teaches us something profound about ego, rivalry, and recognition. Prince and Michael Jackson were at the peak of their fame in 1988. They could have walked past Jordan Matthews like everyone else did. Instead, they stopped. They listened. They recognized talent the world was ignoring. They invested time and resources into a kid who had nothing except a broken keyboard and a promise to his dead mother. The Santa Monica Pier still has a small plaque near where Jordan used to perform. It reads, "On August 14, 1988, 2 legends stopped here to play music with a homeless street performer. They reminded us that genius doesn't require a stage, talent doesn't require wealth, and the most important performances happen when we see each other's humanity." Every day, musicians performing on that pier touch that plaque before they start playing.